Hello there, SOG. It's Game Changer here. We've done quite a few defense videos, but there's obviously the whole other side of the game, which is attack videos and preparation for attack. So, this is my latest PvP opponent. Now, just want you to have a little look. So, initially, you'll think the base is quite strong. It's got some good air defense in there, so you're not going to obviously airstrike him. Got some salvo, got some howitzer, got plenty of rail guns and things along that sort of line. Now, if he didn't have the air attack, you'd go in there with choppers and mop him up, but you can't do that because he's got a good air defense. So, what I'm suggesting is, first of all, use your 5 minutes wisely. Have a scan about. Before you press that attack button, have a scan about. Because if you zoom out a little bit, straight away you can see this guy has a very unprotected war factory. So that's going to go in second. And then do the three. So 1, war factory. 2, chopper base. 3, you'd expect him to have barrack. And there it is. Again, completely unprotected. So this guy is, on paper, he looks good, but he's not, is he? So just that little couple of seconds, have a little look, just to make sure that you formulate an attack and have a little bit of a think about your strategy, what you're going to do. So clearly, we're going to take out his war factory, we're going to take out that via airstrike, and then basically it should be reasonably player sailing from there. So let's run it. So airstrike coming in, a couple of soldiers have got out, but we'll pick them up, no bother. Perhaps should have used both. And then you can imagine the war factory's gone, so no problem. So next part of the phase is no point trying to do anything with the choppers. We've got snipers, so we might as well make the best use of them and get the choppers to come to me. So I'll just fast forward a little bit. So choppers, no bother. Now, what I do with the snipers, Red Rocket showed us, if you bait, so if you kill or shoot and then move them back, then whatever you've shot will go for the snipers, and then you can use your Hummers to obviously, your Humvees rather, to, shoot, and whatever it is will not then shoot at your Hummers. So, next step, we're going to look for some sort of way in. So that's phase 1 taken care of. Now you're looking for which way would be best to attack. Now if I attack this bottom, although those mines don't cause me a problem, there would be snipers, but you're not going to go in with them, are you? Although my mines, the mines don't cause me a problem, these two so-and-sos would. I'd be hit by howitzers and salvos, and I'm probably going to get hit a few times because they're both powered up. So if I come in from the bottom, which you probably think is natural, then that's going to be a bother. If I come in from the side, again, I'm going to face those, and if I come in from that side, I'm going to face those. So for me, the weakest point here is probably the bit is defended the strongest, but because he's done it with rail guns, then you've got time while they charge up to take the wall out, move back, take the railguns out one by one, and they shouldn't usually cause you any sort of problem. So we'll move around. Now naturally you want to get rid of that power station, because then you'll notice the transformers obviously drop. You then take the transformer out, and then obviously it's lights out, isn't it? So we've got rid of one wall. I'll get rid of the second one in a second. You can just see that the railguns have picked me up, so they're going to obviously start locking on. But I've got time while they're charging to get in, get back out again. Notice how that works. Get rid of that wall, get rid of that. Now here I'm thinking to myself, well, they're both powered up. I'm not really going to want to risk trying to take two out. I could go in and out, but I reckon each one of them is still going to get a shot off, and although I'll survive it, it's oil damage. So I'm going to risk it. I'm going to risk going in against this salvo, and I'm going to try and take the transformer out and get in and out and done and dusted. Okay, so we got away with that. So now we can actually take care of the actual railguns themselves. Again, in and out method. You don't want to be hanging about too long, so we'll try that. Nicely done. Okay, slight obviously barrage from one of the salvos. Now then, we move on to phase 3. So what I need to do is I need to, in my opinion, to get my tank over about here somewhere. Because what I can do then, if my tank gets into the correct location, then what will happen is the salvo and the howitzer will pick up the tank and they'll aim at that. Meanwhile, I can then get into here, take care of the main priority, because I'm not using air attack. My main priority is that railgun, and then I can take out the salvo and the howitzer. And if I do everything quick enough and time it well, my Humvee should be kind of immune to his defense. So it's getting the timing right, getting the strategy right, a little bit of thinking, a little bit of being calm. Remember, you've got plenty of time. We've still got 1:30 on the clock. So don't rush in there. Obviously do it in the right manner, and we'll see how that pans out. So the tank's coming in. Notice the two, there you go, they've picked us up, and then I can get in there. And already we've kind of neutralised him, but still everything is aiming at the tank there. The tank's obviously going to take a bit of damage, but if I'm quick enough, I can neutralise and get back in and out, done and dusted, and then we can finish him off, because that's pretty much the last of his defence method. So again, moving on. That bloody legend, man, he keeps texting us me bloody halfway through videos, man. It's about 4 times. Okay, so we'll just finish him off. We'll keep an eye on that clock, because we need to get all this metal. It's not no point doing it if you haven't got the metal. There we go. Okay, so sorry the video was sped up a little bit, but I don't want to obviously bore everyone. Now I got away there with nearly 100,000 metal for 400 oil. Now I'm not saying every attack's going to be as easy as that. But can appreciate if you plan it well, if you make sure that you look for obviously any sort of weaknesses, like where he's positioned his war factory, where he's positioned his barracks. Have a bit of a thought on how you're going to take it on. So I knew obviously I'd be not rushing the helicopter base, wait for them to come to me. Then have some sort of strategy where you're thinking to yourself, how can I get my tanks in to take the power, while I get in my other vehicles to obviously neutralise the threat. And that's kind of how I'm trying to work. I haven't got obviously the Zeus, I haven't got TOS and things like that, so I've got to go a bit of an old school method. But even with those vehicles, if you obviously go in with lots of Zeus, and he's got plenty of howitzers and salvos and machine guns, you're going to take bother. So take a tank for company, take a couple if you need, and use the tanks to absorb the power. I think it was described as a bullet sponge by my good friend Trump Soul. So yeah, it's exactly right. Use your tanks as a bullet sponge, not as an attack method. It's all about sort of smoke and mirrors, and then you can clean up very nicely. Thank you.